Hello, welcome to the next session with a pretty long title, Beyond Editing, How Visible Are Multipliers, Community Leaders and Organizers, Why Are They Important, and How Can Their Visibility Be Increased? This is a session held by Claude, who is right now in Berlin, Germany, and myself, Martin, who's from Berlin, but right now in Singapore, as you can see. And this will be a bit tricky because we want to have it an interactive session, which is more or less organized by Claude and facilitated. But well, we'll see how it will do. And we invite you also to share your stories and things. And with this, I will go to, or give the microphone to Claude. I hope it's working well. Hello, Claude. How's the weather in Berlin? Here it's raining.
I hope so. Well, actually, I'm not in Berlin. I'm in Mildenberg. It's close to Berlin. And the weather is great. I hope you are doing well in Singapore and also, yeah, from wherever you are virtually connected to the Wikimania. So, because we have little time, I start right into the topic of the session. I will share my screen. It may take some minutes or 1 minute. Okay, now I'm sharing my screen, but not the thing I want to share with you. 1 minute, please. We will be right there. So, here we go. So you have seen this slide before. And our topic is, as Martin already told you, multipliers, community leaders and organizers. Everything that goes beyond editing. We want to talk about how they are important and how their visibility can be increased. And for that, we would like to engage with you a bit. But first, what are multipliers? Multipliers are characterized by activities that go beyond creating and maintaining content in the Wiki project. Like, if you imagine, you can imagine the content creating thing is the thing about being Wikimedian, like putting pictures on license that can be shared, editing Wikipedia, providing data within Wikidata. That's the main activity. That's what you all do. But there are other activities, and these activities provide opportunities for participation or to support other community members, or let the community grow in other ways. Some of these activities might be emotional support, conflict resolution, provision of technical tools, developing ideas and strategies, sharing knowledge and skills, organization of events and community spaces, applying for funding, networking, and so on and so on. You see, there's an array of activities that are really needed by the community to keep the community stable, to let the community grow. The thing is, as I already mentioned, multipliers are important for the stability and the growth of the community, but their outcome, their activities, they are not so countable like edit counts, like contribution to Wikidata or contribution to comments. And this is what makes these activities invisible, and also the multipliers. In addition to that, we notice there's also a lack of self-awareness that these tasks of the multipliers are important. Sometimes even the multipliers themselves don't know that the tasks are beyond editing are very important for the community. I often hear stories like that people organize events but tell me that they're doing it on a side track. It's not what they see as the most important thing they do, but more like a side effect. And what they see, what they perceive to be more important are the edit counts. So even the multipliers who do all the work sometimes are not aware about how important their activities are. And another problem within this context is that there's often a lack of structured ways and a clear awareness of how people can learn and do multiplier tasks. So even if there are really important tasks like training how to become a Wikipedian or training how to structure data within the Wikidata, there is no way there's often no way to become a trainer, and these people are needed. So this context of invisibility is a big problem. So we want to talk about our main question: what possibilities and practices exist to make multipliers and community organizers visible and to show appreciation? And we want to talk with you about, do you know practical examples that have already been successful? Do you have ideas on how this could be achieved? How could we bring more appreciation to community organizers? How can we make these tasks, these activities more visible? And in order to share our ideas with you, we want to invite you to do a fishbowl. That's the tricky part because I don't see you as an audience. But I will explain the method, and then we can start right away with an example that Martin provides. The idea about the fishbowl is that you in Singapore can pick one of the 4 or 3 seats that are empty, and then you can write your name. And you don't need to write your name. You can just sit on an empty seat, and then Martin will just give you the mic, and then you can say what have you for ideas or experiences and stuff like that. And if you're finished with your story, with your contribution, you can just leave the seat and let other people sit there to share their ideas. With the people who are online and attending virtually, there is another thing you can do. You can go to the concept board yourself with this link. You have to type it. Not clicking will not help. And then you can go to the concept board yourself, type your name, and there's a reserved space for you, reserved for online attendees only, and then you can sit there yourself. The thing is that the people attending online cannot speak for themselves, so you have to write your question or idea into the chat, and the staff on site in Singapore will read it aloud. So we will start with Martin, who I know is already in the audience and has to say something. So let me type his name, and I will place him on a seat. I hope it's the right seat, Martin, you're taking.
No,
now
it is.
Now it is, okay. So Martin, great to have you here. So do you know any practical examples that are successful in making multipliers, community organizers visible, and how can we show them appreciation? Do you know of any practical example?
I know of many examples, and if you ask me for more, I can probably give more. But the one that comes first to my mind, some of you might even know from having been visited at the last WikiCon or the WikiCons before. That's the Wiki conventions and German meetups. The all German, Austrian, and Swiss meetup in one place in these countries. And we support people who want to show appreciation for all these kinds of not only editing, but also project organizers, commons contributors, people who are active in GLAM activities and such, with a wiki OL. In German, it's Wiki Euler. And that's an award, a physical award, derived from the OL from Athens. It's a little statue that is given by community members, the OL Academy, to community members that were active over the last year. So it's a bit like the Wikipedian of the year, but for German community. And we as Wikimedia Deutschland support them with a little budget, the budget they're asking for decorations of the room, for example, to have these little statues physically available at the award ceremony, and do whatever they need to make it a place where contributions, also beyond editing, are visible. That's something we do to support community, to appreciate community members. What about you? Do you have other, or will you take over, Claude, with the moderation again?
I can do that. Yeah, the thing is that I don't see who is maybe approaching the empty seats. So, yeah, just give me a sign. This is happening. So, you're invited to share your stories, to share your ideas on how we can make multipliers and organizers more visible. And
please come to the front, indeed, and take one of the seats next to me and the little plushie here, which is for the online participants if they want to share a story. Who has a story? Please come to the front. Tell us your name.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Gan Wiyu from Taiwan. And I'm currently working as a facilitator in Taiwan Wikimedia user group. And as you know, we are not a very big group. And actually our organizers of the group is totally four of us. And we would try very hard to holding some workshops to facilitate, to encourage our members to get into, to start to edit our own Wikipedias. And the question, how can we make these organizers visible? I think personally, for example, me, I got the scholarship from the foundation that I have the opportunity to participate in the conference here. So it's very encouraging for us, but not all of our members and not all the organizers can get the scholarship. But of course, it's kind of we can share our experience here with each other. It's kind of yeah, it's my opinion. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the nice story. Scholarships as a kind of appreciation, absolutely, and to make projects beyond editing visible. Who else has a story? Sure, Sadiq, come to the front, take the microphone.
Hi, excuse me. My name is Sadiq Shahadu from Tamale, Ghana, and my story is I work with the Wikimedia communities in Ghana, and also a member of the Wikimedia Language Diversity Hub. So at this particular session, I am representing Wikimedia Language Diversity Hub and the Dagbani Wikimedians user group. So what is working for me is we have created we work with multiple language communities like Dagbani, Kusal, Dagari, like sub-dialects within the Moli Dagbani family of languages. And what we do is that we have created like a micro grant program within the user group where different language communities can access resources like funding for data allowances. There's a peculiar challenge with that is connected to most of these languages, like internet connectivity and cost of internet data. And as part of our effort to support volunteers and encourage community members to, contribute to Wikipedia, we provide this micro grant for the sub-communities so that they can disperse to their language contributors by providing stipends during online meetings, and also providing internet routers or MiFis for those who contribute more effectively. Another interesting program we have adapted is the Article of the Week program, where the committee comes together to select an article from the language Wikipedia, so that all of us can just jump onto the article within a course of 7 days, from Monday to the following Sunday. And this has helped us improve the quality of articles on the Dagbani Wikipedia. And when we do that, we select the top contributors from the most recent contributions on that particular article, and then we try to compensate them with data allowance so that they can continue to edit. It's a very big challenge for us, communities in Ghana, because of the cost of internet data. So this is just another way of supporting community members and making sure that everybody is getting the needed support they will get to be able to contribute effectively to their language Wikipedia. Yeah.
Thank you, Sadiq, for sharing your story. One question back to you, maybe. We were talking about how you and others support these workshops with these activities. How is your activity visible? I mean, you're shared here now. That's, I think, also an appreciation of your activities. And that's one of the goals of the session here, to appreciate also you as community leaders. But do you get some recognition for your work in the projects? Can you share a bit about this, maybe?
Thank you. So yes, of course, we do get recognitions from other affiliates and communities within the movement. One of the support we got recently is the Wikimedia Deutschland's laptop donation program, where community members were asked to submit their applications. And before I go into that, 70% of my community members actually edit from their mobile phones, which is a big challenge for us in Ghana. So this particular program by Wikimedia Germany, which is currently managed by Alan and Mohammed, has been a very great support for the community, because some of them were able to apply for a laptop through their laptop donation program, and I've also picked one of them that I'll be sending back to the community members. So these are some of the recognition that I think we get from external affiliates. And also we are one of the focus languages that were selected for the pilot of Abstract Wikipedia in 2024. So Dagbani is one of the languages, and as part of our effort to contribute to the project, we've been involved in creating lexims and building lexicographical data for Dagbani language on Wikidata. And our community is one of the most integrated languages. The Dagbani language is currently one of the most integrated languages on Wikidata in Africa. And we have created the highest number of lexims as at now, with over 8,000 lexims in Dagbani. So this being part of the Abstract Wikipedia, or being selected as one of the focus languages for Abstract Wikipedia, was really a big thing for me, because at that time I remember we were still in the incubator, and I believe it was as a result of the community engagement and the contribution that we make and how effective the incubator was that made them select us as part of the language. So these are some of the little recognitions that we get. And also from Art and Feminism, who has been like a great support to us. They've been giving us like micro grant through their art and feminism campaigns programs to contribute content to the Dagban Wikipedia. And there's already like a huge gender gap on the Dagban Wikipedia, even though we are just like starting up. And not starting up because we have like over 7,000 articles already on Dagban Wikipedia, but there's still a gender gap, and we see that this would continue as all of us are already aware. But art and feminism campaigns has really helped us to reduce the gender gap by creating campaigns that seeks to increase the visibility of biographies of women on the Dagban Wikipedia. Yeah, so these are some of the things that I can remember for now.
Thank you very much, and thank you also for mentioning Wikimedia Deutschland. This is not scripted. It made me a bit blush. Thank you for these nice words. Who else has a story to share? Are you complete with your stories, or do you want to still join here on the table? That's fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, me again. You know, I'm a member in Taiwan Wikimedia user group in Taiwan, and you know, we started our user group and to participate in together with the whole Wikimedia movement, right? But you know, in Taiwan and in many other places, there are many groups. Actually, they are doing their own wiki projects, but maybe they don't know how to get involved. I mean, to start a user group on Meta page, especially as I know, for example, we have Amis community and Sijie communities also in Taiwan, the Taiwan Indigenous Languages community. They do a lot of work, but like they are not very familiar with Meta page. They do a lot of work on their own Wikipedia pages, but they don't know how to, for example, like get funds or like to start their user group page to get interaction with international communities. Yeah, that's what I'm sharing. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Please come to the front. Do you want to stay? Then please stay. Or if you want to, that's okay. Fantastic. That's how it works. Hello and welcome.
Hello, I'm Ferdinando from Italy. I'm an event organizer. I'm glad to meet you. More than wanting to share an experience, I wanted to make a consideration. I feel recognized as an organizer, and I feel that the other organizers in Italy are pretty visible and pretty recognized. But I feel that we are too few. The problem, in my opinion, is not that the existing multipliers, as you call them, and thank you for this session because I didn't reflect on the importance of these kind of things before. More than being not recognized, I think that the problem, at least in my context, is that we are too few to organize offline events, to organize projects, to ask for grants, to you know, all these things you were citing. So I think that we should also try to think how to increase the number of people who do this kind of job, because the existing people who do this kind of things are already recognized. We have things similar to your wiki hours in Italy and Wikirichi, yes. And so I think that the community is always very warm, very appreciating of the work we all do, but that we are few. So I'd like to ask if someone found some way to involve more people in this kind of activity, because I have to tell you that in my community I wasn't able to.
Thank you very much for sharing this story. Absolutely, we need more multipliers. That's one of the goals. And I'm thinking of things like train the trainer. Does anyone of you have a story to share about that? Or maybe Claude, do you want to share a story about train the trainer? Not scripted either.
I can do that. Yeah. We often see the problem with getting more multipliers to get more people active in this specific roles is that there is no capacity building. So there is no structured way to become a multiplier, to get a grip on the task that needs to be done. So what we need is something like, yeah, we need training, but this is a challenge because that's not something not something that we can easily do as a sidetrack activity. You need really to focus on something like training new people becoming multipliers. But because what you're doing as multipliers, as organizers, is often you are visible, you may be visible, but how you do things and how the things are done step by step, that's often not visible. So the people need to learn how you do this stuff, and they often needed to see in a step-by-step kind of way. So having a training to train people to become multipliers and then to share these trainings with other people, we call trainer. We have something like this within Wikimedia Germany. We're doing this with people who want to train others to get active in Wikipedia. So we train people to become trainers themselves. But this is something you really need to focus on, and it may take a lot of resources. This is something, this is a concern coming with this kind of program.
So thank you, Claude, for sharing. You didn't see that I used a little plushie and held a microphone in front of it on that table. We are reaching the end of the session, and we wanted to share. Yeah, time's up. Standing there. We wanted to introduce you to the topic of multipliers. We wanted to make you aware of the things beyond editing, to take a look at that, and to show appreciation, look beyond. And we also wanted to introduce you to the fishbowl concept here. I hope you enjoyed the session, and see you at the next one. Thank you, Claude.
Hello, can you hear me? Welcome to this session. My name is Sadek Shahadu, and I will be presenting this session on behalf of the Wikimedia Language Diversity Hub. And I have my co-presenter online, Sadip. He'll be joining us shortly. So I will be talking to you about the Wikimedia Language Diversity Hub's works and the research that we did in 2022 in October. And I'll be sharing more with you the findings, the background of the hub, and the method that we used in the interview, and then also the findings and then the next steps. So the Language Diversity Hub initiated, the initiative started in 2021, building upon the existing Wikimedia Language Diversity Network, which started way back in 2012. And the purpose of this was to support and connect affiliates and volunteers to new and smaller language versions of Wikimedia projects. And we have been working on this project since 2021, and we have a steering committee from a very diverse linguistical background and also from different regions of the world. So this is the list of steering committee members, and I'm sure some of you may be familiar with their usernames. And Amir, and Amkwe Ayumo John from Wikimedia Norway, and Mali Oscar Sadip, who is my co-presenter, myself, and then that is the steering committee members for the Wikimedia Language Diversity Hub. We also have an observer steering committee who are members from the Wikitongues, and Art and Feminism, and also Wikimedia UK. So what exactly were we trying to discover or investigate? So the research was focused on understanding the limitations within the smaller language Wikimedia communities, and we wanted to understand what is limiting the contributors of new language Wikipedia editions. That is from the start in the incubator to when they are approved. And the method we used to conduct this research was semi-structured interview with contributors from different countries. And we were looking at identifying, 4 types of barriers that these communities are facing. Prior to that, we had conducted a survey within ourselves to see some of the topmost priorities as far as the research is concerned. So when we talk about the challenges faced by smaller language Wikimedia communities, we are talking about challenges that most of us are already aware of, especially those who are working closely with language communities. Some of them are challenges that we can simply address by working collaboratively together. Some of them are also challenges that the foundation can work to support. And we had open questions where we invited contributors or participants of the research to exchange their information via Zoom. And I also conducted some of the sessions in person, especially at the Wiki Indaba. I engaged some committee members from the Igbo and Ghanaian, Nigerian Pidgin Wikimedia communities. But largely, we conducted most of the interview sessions online because of the different time zones that people were on, and also the fact that we did not get the opportunity to travel to meet most of these people because of limited funding support. So most of the interviews are already uploaded on our YouTube channel that you can watch later. And in terms of identifying which community we should work with, we try to look at the how the community are involved in the Wikipedia project. We also wanted to make sure we are having a globally represented community. And then, of course, we wanted to make sure that there's somebody that we can speak to who is already involved in these communities. So if you look on my screen, you see languages that we engage from South Asia, Middle East, the Caribbean, ISAP, and Northern and Western Europe. We have from Middle East, Dagbani, Gruni, Igbo, and Nigerian Pidgin. And then ISAP, we have Paiwan and Mon Wikipedia, and the other languages from different parts of the regions. So, like I said, we wanted to engage them to understand their real challenges, not just like a survey. We could, conduct surveys like most committees do, but we wanted to get like in-depth information from them, and we wanted them to share this information personally with individuals who are part of the committee, especially those that they are already familiar with. We believe that this will allow them to share more information, and we will be able to use that to analyze our data from the research. And there's a YouTube channel that we've created for this, and you can find all the research, the in-person and online research that we did by going to this tiny URL. And so, yeah, we needed somebody who is very closer to the committee, and also the possibility of getting the approval of the committee that we were engaging, so that we can get a smooth flow of the work. And this took quite a long time, between August and November in 2022. So what we also wanted to understand was, like, even though we selected random committee members from different language groups, we wanted to understand why their motivation of accepting to be part of this research program. So most of them shared that they want to bring knowledge about their language and culture to the next generation and the rest of the world. And others shared that they are interested in conserving the knowledge about culture, history, and tradition from their language communities. And most of them were also sharing about revitalizing their language and then doing something for their culture and people. Now, let's talk about the barriers. So when we talk about the barriers, we were looking at technical barriers, economic barriers, social and education and knowledge-related barriers. So for technical knowledge, technical barriers, we're looking for what are some of the technical challenges that they face in terms of like language. We know when we talk about language, most of them would have different keyboards, or maybe they have like some special characters that are not currently supported in the Wikimedia ecosystem, or if they have, how do they easily navigate through these keyboards? Then in terms of technology, again, we looked at the incubator. If you are currently working on the incubator projects, you will realize that it is not user-friendly as people would think. Like if you are very new to Wikimedia movement, or you are just starting up a new language project, it is not really as easy as we wanted it to be. So we wanted to see some of the challenges that people face in these projects on the incubator. So we also looked for like those who are really interested in getting like basic knowledge in terms of like training, how they can effectively organize online and in-person training for committee members. So these were technical like skills, like training people how to use Wikidata tools, training people how to use specific like gadgets on Wikimedia or Wikipedia projects. And then we looked at the economic barriers. So economic barriers, most of the committee members we engaged complained of not having like enough, time to contribute to Wikipedia. And some of them complained about the cost of internet data and equipment. I know most of you are already familiar with these challenges as far as communities from the global south is concerned, especially in Africa. And there's also like unemployment issues related to these economic barriers. And then the most surprising thing was the lack of interest in volunteering. So what exactly is stopping people from contributing to Wikipedia or being like volunteers? And then we talked about the social barriers with few of the participants, and we realized that there were too few contributors to these smaller language projects on the incubator especially. And then the gender imbalance at the early stage. They are very small language projects, and we already see like a huge gender gap, like the number of female contributors, for example, were very limited as compared to the male contributors. And also those who contribute to biographies of female content, we try to like identify their username and engage them to learn more about why they mostly like contribute to articles related to women in Africa. And then we talked about education and other knowledge-related barriers. We discovered that the language is not taught. Most of the languages that we engage, like the Dagbani, is not like taught in schools, even though it's one of the government-sponsored languages. And the other challenge is that there's no like rich online resources for teachers or students who want to teach Dagbani in schools, for example. So in Ghana, we engage like the Dagbani community and also the Gruni community, which I'm closely connected to. There's also not like standardized written version of the language, which is very, very challenging for most people to continue to contribute to Wikipedia. And then challenges with language knowledge and also in the community. Even though we have so many like students and teachers within some of these language communities, but there's still like limitations to what resources they can get to contribute to Wikipedia in their various languages. So in summary, the work that are done by small language Wikimedia contributors is really, really remarkable. And I think there has been like an increase in the number of people who contribute to smaller language Wikipedia projects. And there has also been like a lot of new language incubator projects coming out from these language communities, like the Dagbani. When I engaged them at the initial stage, they had only 2 language communities, like the Gruni and the Dagbani. Now I've seen like a few more languages coming from the group, which is very great. So the largest barrier for many emerging Wikipedia communities are even outside the Wikimedia community. So these are some of the things that we want to discuss and also learn from the community, how we can connect like non-Wikimedia communities to Wikimedia communities or affiliates to be able to work together and provide like solution for these communities. And we looked at how we can also connect linguists and also language technologists outside the Wikimedia movement and those who have like a professional background, especially technology that are related to, languages or language revitalization. And within the movement, we have most of the resources needed. I know we have a lot of, let's say, money to support these communities, but we don't know where to channel that money to and who need this resources the most. So what is our next step? My colleague Sadip will be joining us. I don't know if he's online. Okay, so Sadip, if you are ready, please let me know. And our next step, we have proposed a grant proposal, and the grant proposal is through the Movement Strategy Grant. And this grant proposal will help us, restructure, keep building the hub, and also organize like more regular meetings to engage more of these language communities. It is also a way to foster collaboration among the language communities and also provide like technical support and language support for these communities. We have already started engaging, individuals and organizations that are interested in supporting us. Galingo from Norway, who are, they are very much interested in providing support, like keyboard support for these language communities that we work with. So as part of our next grant program, we would like to provide like a robust solution, especially those who need support with keyboard for their various languages. And then we also focused on need assessment. How can user groups or chapters better understand or support the smaller language Wikimedia communities? And then we engaged most of the steering committee members who are also members of the Wikimedia language committee to understand what exactly we can do to improve the incubator and if that is still necessary for smaller or test wikis. For me personally, when I started engaging most of these language communities, it was really difficult to, teach them how to, do basic things like adding references on Wikipedia in the incubator. The fact that you have to like use templates on Wikipedia, the incubator is really a big challenge, especially for those who are just joining the movement. we assume that not everybody would have the technical knowledge to be able to create templates or use templates on the incubator. So this is one of the things that we want to see improve within the Wikimedia Incubator interface. And then we are trying to build a network of linguists and language technologists with Wikitongues who already have like a large community base that are working to support language revitalization. And as most of us are already aware, Wikitongues is one of the affiliates who are working so much with language communities, and we want to, partner with them to improve our work and also support their initiatives, especially the language accelerator program that they are currently, doing within the Africa communities. And we want to expand this work. We want to keep engaging people via interviews to document and build a solid foundation for other people to, leverage on. We also want to help document resources for the incubator. There's currently no resources available for people, especially those who are working with smaller language communities. So we want to see how best we can collaborate to create more resources and documentation for those who need it most. Most of the times, community leaders have to always reinvent the wheel. So if you are working with, for example, language A, and after supporting them to get out of the incubator, you have to go back again and start doing the same thing with the next language. So if there's a possibility of us having a documentation or rich online resources, either on Wikimedia Commons or maybe YouTube or other forms of documentation that people can easily find and learn from, so that we don't have to always start from scratch. So this is very important to us as a hub, and we want to see this implemented in the next phase of our program. So another thing that we want to do is to define the governance of the hub, and also answer the questions of how a hub should look like. And we are also interested in building, as I said in my earlier presentation slides, we want to build an infrastructure for keyboard and language technology. So if you are interested in, collaborating with us, you have any community that is working to support these challenges, we'll be very happy to, have you on board. Now, my colleague Sadip would join us to discuss. I'm also looking for feedback, comments, suggestions on how we can improve the work that we do, and also the possibility of collaborating with other affiliates as a hub. Yeah. So over to you, Sadip.
Thank you so much, Sadiq, for having me here. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this conversation. I'd first like to acknowledge all the support that the initial hub discussions that we've been having, and the research that we did, for that, all the support we had from the steering committee, especially from Mali, and John Harold from Wikimedia Norway. And, I'm not sure how much time we have, but I'll just like to open it up for a conversation. I'll also invite you all to read the proposal for what the hub aims to do in the coming years. But so far on what you've heard, I'll just open up the space. If you have any questions or feedback, based on what you heard so far, are we missing something? Should we be focusing on something else than, let's say, working on the Wikimedia incubator? Should that be someone else's responsibility? But then whose responsibility? Can we better support the different communities across the globe? How can we do that? And finally, are there affiliates or individuals in the room or beyond who would like to join forces with this hub experiment that we're doing? So just want to open it up. As much long as time we have, it's supposed to be more of a conversation around anything that you think would be most useful for now. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so much, Sadi, for the presentation. I'll remain here to listen to any questions and if needed to respond to anything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sadip. So we are looking for feedback, as I said, and this is going to be like an open conversation. if you are working with an affiliate that is interested in supporting the hub, we will be very much excited to hear from you. And if you have any feedback for us as a hub, what can we improve on? What can we, change as a hub? This would be very, very useful to us. It was supposed to be like a panel session, but unfortunately only a few of us are here, and my colleague Sadip will be joining to hear more. And if you have any question for me, I will be happy to answer them. Thank you. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Geoffrey from the Wikimedia Community User Group in Uganda. So, we do have a local language Wikipedia called the Luganda Wikipedia that we're trying to grow in the country. And, we are very much interested in the initiative and joining hands with the hub. So, thank you for the good work so far. I think my question is, how do you see this hub working with the other hubs, because the other hubs that are also being formulated, and maybe they are also trying to see how they can support local language Wikipedias in their region. So just trying to think like, how do we plan to avoid duplication of efforts when those regional hubs are also trying to support local language Wikipedias? Have you had like discussions with them, and how do you envision that working out?
Thank you so much for the question, and I'm so happy to hear that there are new language communities also coming up in Uganda. And my colleague Sadip would like to Sadip, are you ready to speak about this? I know he has been working with a few other hubs who are also interested in collaborating with us.
Yeah, sure. I think first of all, that's a really important question that we all should sit together and think about. But on a very simple answer would be that most of the regional hubs kind of will be addressing more regional issues. For instance, bringing in new communities maybe addressing some of these concerns, like let's say economic or social barriers, maybe they can address those. But then the hub at more of a global level can kind of support the infrastructure. Let's say if we are improving the incubator, if that's something that we do, that would then support languages across the world, not specific to any region. So I do see that there are opportunities to collaborate, but then again, there is a lot of work needs to be done, and I don't have this fear that there's going to be a situation where we are duplicating. I see more like an image I remember from the movement strategy, which was of an orchestra. We're all working or playing a different instrument and making beautiful music together, I hope.
Thank you so much, Sadip. Any more? So, as I said, we are looking for affiliates to join us. We are looking for affiliates who are interested in collaborating with us. They necessarily do not have to be like a language affiliate or an affiliate that is working specifically on language project, but any language affiliate or chapter that is interested in like supporting our work. We are also currently looking for fiscal sponsors, So if your hub can help us, improve our work, receive support from foundation, this will be very, very useful to us. Any more question, suggestion, comment? Okay, I have 5 more minutes left. Oh, my time is up. Thank you so much for your time.